Persona 5 is a game made by Atlus, released in 2017. In this game, you control a teenager nicknamed Joker in his quest to basically cause a revolution, one corrupt adult at a time, using his strange powers called Persona. In this video, I won't be talking about the beautiful story of this game or the entirety of its gameplay, because I do not have 15 hours on hand right now. I am, however, gonna be talking about what I think is the most interesting part of this game gameplay-wise, the confidence system and how it integrates itself within the two main parts of the game. So let's start one persona at a time. Like I said before, Persona 5 has two main phases, what we call in the field gameplay loops. Everyday phase, where you need to manage your time correctly between your school life, your duties, and your friends. And the palaces, a more combat-heavy phase, where you need to explore huge dungeons, stealth your way to the boss, and beat said boss in an epic battle. In this video, I won't be focusing on the palace phase too much. All you gotta know is that it relies heavily on traditional RPG mechanics with turn-based combat. Kinda like a more complicated version of Pokemon. What interested me the most is the everyday phase. In this phase, you'll have to manage your time. You have a limited amount of days to prepare yourself and face the boss of each palace. Time that you need to juggle between different stats, activities, and confidence. Persona 5 Royale, the re-release that came out in 2019, offers 23 side characters called confidants, all tied to a different arcana, including 3 that complete themselves throughout the main stories. That leaves 20 confidants to upgrade all by yourself. How do you do that, you ask? Simple, just come up to them when they are free and spend time with them. Doing this will make you skip a part of the day in exchange for a little cutscene with that character. This is actually what I love the most about those confidants, the fact that they are real characters with arcs and development. But I'm not here to talk about the story, I'm here to talk about the mechanics. It all started in Persona 1, where it didn't actually exist. Sure, you had arcanas like in the modern games, but it was more symbolism than real gameplay mechanics. This mechanic only made its real debut in Persona 3. Social links were introduced, used to upgrade your personas using the same arcanas, and that's it. In Persona 5 you still have the XP boost for your personas, but you also get pretty significant buffs that are mostly useful for the combat phase of the game. They almost always give you an advantage in that phase, from more damage to revealing an opponent's weakness, even going as far as just removing some debuffs for free. And that leads me to player interaction and preference. Let's say that you're an avid RPG player. What you enjoy in those games is the engaging combat, the cool spells you can throw at your opponent, and min-maxing your stats to be a powerhouse. And you just brought Persona 5 because your friend told you it was a masterpiece that you absolutely needed to play. And now you're stuck with a game that contains a shit ton of cutscenes. You are obviously more interested in the palace phase than the everyday phase, so what does the game do to make this phase bearable, engaging, or even better, fun? It gives you bonuses. It's as simple as that. The simple drive that optimizing your schedule and carefully juggling your confidence and grind throughout the year will give you amazing results is enough for some players to actually pay attention and be interested in those phases. I am more of a story girl myself. I actually didn't unlock some confidence at all because their stories looked boring, but a friend of mine pretty much min-maxed his way through the game and made sure all of his allies were rank 10 by the final boss. And that's the entire point, to make sure everyone's happy. If you're into the story, you get 20 additional stories you can explore anytime you want at your own pace. If you prefer combats, you have 20 lines of additional buffs you can enjoy to really squeeze every single advantage you can. Now of course I'm caricaturing here, Nobody wants to play Persona just for the combat or just for the story. You're probably lying somewhere in the middle, but this system will always make sure you find something interesting to do, regardless of your progress. In conclusion, Persona 5 simply tweaked a pre-existing system by adding a slight buff to encourage player, but it changed the game for the better. Now everyone can find their fun by utilizing the entirety of the game, whether you prefer combat or not, and without needing to play Shin Megami Tensei. It also integrates with the time managing aspect of the game very well, and it gives some awesome rewards for anyone willing to optimize their playthrough. This system was later refined in Metaphor Refantasio by removing the point system, opting for a guaranteed level up at each meetup. Whilst not being required to actually finish the game, it does not feel out of place or like an afterthought, but more like an integrated part of the game that players will enjoy interacting with. And that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content like this one.